Every surgery is risky, and this is a major surgery. It's invasive. I'm under general anesthesia. I'm pumped with fluids. There's risk involved. Yeah, it's a serious surgery. Things could go wrong. I could come out and wake up and be raring to go in a couple of days. I could have lifelong complications with my digestive system that I have to learn to live with. Anything could happen. It's a risk that I knew going into it, and it's a risk that I'm willing to take.
What are you scared about? What are your fears going into this surgery? Because we are doing a before and after segment on this transplant. What are your fears?
One of my main fears is pain, because in November, a coworker of mine had a kidney removed, and she's still in pain. They've told her there's nothing they can do about it because it's scar tissue, and she just has to learn to live with it. So that's in my mind. I know someone who's had this complication. Pain is a big fear. Am I going to have something that I have to live with for the rest of my life? You know, but it's no different than Jenny having to live with taking anti-rejection meds every day for the rest of her life. She did dialysis for 3 days a week for years. I mean, even the risk of my complication is very real, but it's no different than Jenny's risk or Jenny's lifestyle changes that she has to make. So it's scary and it's risky, but it's not enough to make me reconsider.
Jenny, do you have any fears?
Oh, most certainly. I mean, when I got the first transplant, it was a little different. I didn't have the responsibility of being a small business owner. I wasn't working at the time. So, you know, it was a lot easier at that point in time. I was just on a cadaver waiting list, and they called and said, be here in 2 hours. Well, this time being in a live donor swap, they called, and 2.5 or 3 weeks later now, we're getting ready to go into the surgery. So, you know, they're not pulling a splinter out of my finger. They are putting in a working organ into a living person. As with any surgery, you always have risks, and there's always complications that could come up, but I'm kind of with the same attitude that Jessica is. You know, do I want to continue to go through the pain of needles and not really having a life and feeling tired, or do I take a chance that this is going to be successful and I can continue to live a normal, somewhat normal life for the next 30 or 40 years? I mean, I know looking back at when I got the pancreas, yeah, they're opening your body up and there is pain for a few days, but they medicate you. They will adjust so that that is tolerable. Yes, every so often if you turn a certain way, you might get a short little pain or something, but it seems to go away. It's not something that is inhabitable to live with. And I certainly hope that same case is true for everyone involved, and Jessica as well. I don't take any pain medication whatsoever. I don't even take Tylenol right now. And I've had many, many surgeries based from car accident and things like that. So it's a risk, but just like Jessica said, it's a risk I'm willing to take because it will be a better life if all goes well. From what we've been told, we are talking about 4 organs coming from 4 different states to 4 different people. So it basically, like you said, it does involve 8 people, and it will be life-changing for all 8 people. My hope is that whoever has been willing to donate is also willing to talk and meet. Unfortunately, I was not able to meet the first transplant donor because it was a cadaver donor. I did contact the family. Everyone grieves differently, so they chose not to contact me, but it is so life-changing. And for the first time in my life, when I received the pancreas and the kidney, I was able to eat apple pie with ice cream and have actual birthday cake. And after all the years of Valentine's Day, I finally was able to get a box of chocolates because I always got flowers or a necklace or jewelry. I was never able to eat the sugar of chocolate. And it's those little funny things that you just don't think about that, you know, when I was growing up, I had to decide when it was my birthday, did I want a piece of cake or did I want the ice cream? Because it was too much sugar to have both. And I grew up at a time, there was not NutraSweet. There was not all the sugar-free jellos and candies and things that are out there now. So it's come a long way. And to be able to look back and take, a lot of people take those things for granted. It is such a life-changing event to give somebody those organs that it's priceless.
I think I want people to know that it's an option. I think a lot of people are registered as donors on their driver's license, for example, and I don't think everyone realizes how much you can give as a living donor, for example, a kidney. I want people to understand that, yes, a part of you is taken, and you have 4 to 6 weeks to recover, and you have to be careful and things like that, but that's it. You're not out any money. You're only out the time that you volunteer to give to someone else, to give them a kidney. Their insurance pays for everything. There's a lot of testing, there's a lot of blood draws, that kind of thing, but it's really not an inconvenience in any way. You have 2 years of follow-up that's completely covered, again, by insurance. The only thing you're out is the time and the travel. And that's it. It's very easy. If you work and you have an employer who's willing to give you 4 weeks off to recover, there's no reason why you can't do it.
And there is, I mean, on the financial aspect of it, the treatments for dialysis much greatly outweigh the cost of an organ. I know my treatments, based on what it takes for my chemistry and what they have to replenish back into my blood, my treatments run anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 per treatment. That is per day, per time. And it's not cheap. Organs aren't cheap. I will be very honest and say that. The hospital stay is not cheap, but those 10 days in the hospital, I mean, I spend probably $100,000 in the first month or 2 months of treatment. And, you know, it's better all the way around for everybody.
What's that one thing you're going to do after you fully recover, Jenny?
Sleep in. I will be so excited on a Monday morning not to have to get up at 4 o'clock and beat my alarm, because I won't have to be somewhere at 4 o'clock. Monday mornings are really probably the toughest because I have the weekends off. Weekends are usually busy with activities going on, and just for my husband and I to have a little bit of our life back, to not be so tired at 7 o'clock at night at the end of the day that I can't even stay awake after dinner, to be able to go do something. Lord, heaven forbid we get to go take a vacation for more than 2 days, because right now we leave on Friday after dialysis and I have to be back for treatment Monday morning on dialysis. So that's not a very long breakaway if you have to drive 8 or 10 hours to get somewhere.
Jessica, just hearing the story of you two and hearing Jenny talk and how appreciative she is, how does that make you feel to be able to give life and be able to risk your life to give life back to Jenny?
Yeah.
It's pretty tough to explain.
It started out when I volunteered, she was a stranger. And of course, since then that has completely changed. But there are so many things that make it feel like it was supposed to happen. I volunteered, she was a stranger, I met my husband who had experience with this type of thing. Then I came to see her and we found out that I grew up right around the corner from her grandmother. Our grandmothers were friends. I mean, I knew her family. It just seems like it was supposed to happen. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's good.
I'd do it again.
no matter what happens, we will stay in contact and we will always be friends. We'll always be connected.
We're bonded.
We are.
Yeah.
And
there's
it's
no
a
doubt.
good thing.
You got it. You got it.
And I think the main thing I just want to get out there to people is don't be afraid to look into donating and being tested. And if you aren't sure and you have questions, ask. Find out about it. Don't just say, oh, no way I'm doing that, because it is so life-changing. I think about the people that I've met and talked to that have received eyes and have actually seen the sunshine and birds and things for the first time. I mean, it is more than just a kidney or a heart or a liver. And there are so many people out there that are on the verge of dying, waiting on an organ.
And Jenny says, if you have any questions, ask. Ask me.
Yeah.
I originally wanted to do it anonymously because I think if you start, I'm doing it, it's my good deed for the year, And I feel like if I start telling people about it and bragging about it, some of the generosity it loses some of the generosity in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that how many people are out there that donate, living donors, that stay anonymous, so you don't know, you don't have any connection. I grew up in this town. I graduated from Ridgewood. People know me. People knew me when I was growing up. They know my parents. They know my family. And hopefully someone will say, well, if that Jessica girl can do it, maybe I can too. If it opens a dialogue and if it creates even one other donor, it's totally worth it.
I'm a big advocate for the American Diabetes Association as well as the kidney donation, Donate for Life, and kidney failure. And the one thing I guess I have taken through all this is if I am able to connect and talk with one person, mm-hmm. what I have gone through then has been worth it, because that is one person that I made realize you can do this, you can get through this. Is it easy? Heck no. But anything worth doing is not easy, or we'd all be doing it. And I am the same way. I am always open. You can always call me, contact me. I'll be more than happy to sit down. If you're having trouble, if you're frustrated, you don't understand why things are happening, by all means, I am not a licensed physician, but I've lived a lot of it, and I will be more than happy to help anyone in any way.
With your story getting out in the public right now, what are some of the things that the public has said to you, or have they said good luck? I know someone gave you guys a prayer cloth. Those different types of things. What are some of those situations where people's approached either you, Jenny, or you, Jessica, and what are some of the things they've said to you?
I know for me, support-wise, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I have people that, how it is in high school who 25, 30 years ago, yes, I'm telling my age there, but they wouldn't give you the time of day. And all of a sudden I'm getting posts on Facebook. Good luck, Jen, you're in our prayers. We're thinking about you. I've had some of my customers bring in flowers and cards. I'm on prayer chains. I mean, it is a contagious thing, and it's a good, positive thing. I feel like it's a very negative thing because I'm not normal. I have a deficiency. But if I'm able to turn that around and make it something good and make it something positive, then I've done my job.
I've had the same experience. It's been nothing but support. I've had people like you, people that I haven't talked to in years, have said something to me. I've had a lot of people saying, good luck, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. There's been nothing, feedback-wise, there's been nothing negative. Nothing.
You're watching KashakthanTV.com.